Oh. Alright, hey all my kings and queens and in-betweens. Welcome back to my channel! So I haven't filmed in a while. I filmed like a week or two ago, and then when I went to like check to see if it was doing its thing, like to see if it was recording, it literally, my batteries went charged. So I'm gonna try something new and do it on my phone, and then I'm gonna upload it from my phone to YouTube. So we'll see how that works. That might just be the new way to do it, even though I love the like old grimy like YouTube feeling of like me like propping up my camera, like filming me, because I like Gorchina. I can like see my pores in this. Like, I don't know, I kind of like the grimy feel of like me putting up my phone and, you know, doing it that way. But all right, so I'm going to have a couple videos coming out. I want to do a reaction to Dave Chappelle. I want to talk about the cracker discourse and from like Twitch. I want to talk about a religious subject I'm thinking about doing, like so there's a lot of stuff I'm going to do. Like I said, if this works, this might be the new way I do things. So I'm going to make this video like a test run, because I'm going to talk about Grimes, Mommy Grimes, we love her, and then talk about like misogyny towards her, and just the general hate I don't get. Because like, alright, so now we're getting into the video. My bias is I love Grimes. I haven't been like a super fan of like anyone since I was a kid, but I would say I'd be close to being a super fan of Grimes. I love her. I love her music. I just think she's iconic and everything she does. Like her newest music video was so good. Just her music videos in general always poppin'. So this is what I'm going to get into. I don't get the hate of Grimes. I'm just going to start off with fans who say I miss old Grimes, because I'll get like my algorithm knows I love Grimes, so I'll get like a video being like, here's some Grimes content. I'm like, oh, let me watch. And I'll literally see a comment being like, I miss old Grimes. How has she changed? Like, and this is what I'm curious about. Do you think like dating someone who is less desirable, like, bad? And also like her making cringy takes, which I don't even think are cringy. I think all communist theory and any like lefty online or tanky who's like obsessed with communism, mama, that's the new astrology for leftists. It's cringe. It's very cringe, because these people treat it like almost like a serious card game. Like they trade ideologies. Like, no, my ideology beats yours. Like anarcho-communism, and I'm a free-falling free market capitalist, and you're a social democrat lipcock. Like, how about this? If you just believe something, believe it. It's so cringe, because it's like, mama, if you're in America and you're flaming people on their communist theory online, it doesn't matter. It's like flaming someone over a fanfic. Like your favorite author wrote this really awesome fanfic, and you're like, that's not how my fanfic I interpret it. You're a cringe poser fan. You're not a real fan of this author. Mama, we can't even get health care in the United States. You're never going to see communism. The world will be rotten, dead, and gone before you ever see an ounce of communism in any, like, first world country. I'm guaranteeing you that. Like, you'll be dead. So the idea that, like, you're going to flame someone over communist theory and how they're not practicing it right, or, like, misinforming people, mama, it doesn't matter. It's basically fairy tales. Like, it is never going to happen in this day or time. So I love them. And then also, like, people are like really mean to her. Like, just because they don't like her takes on communists. Like, when have we, and this is getting into the misogyny, where have we ever treated men with bad takes like this? Like, the amount of flaming she gets where people are actually upset. I'm sorry, you're kind of not looking like a leftist to me if you're attacking a woman, which I think you could attack anyone on the left if they're doing something bad, but over communist theory. And she's not like a prominent figure in the left, and like where, let's say, ContraPoints was like misinforming people about like, I'll put something in my that I care, like healthcare. She's misinforming people about healthcare. I'd be pissed. I think communism is lame because you'll never see it, and it's just like basically a fairy tale at this point. But let's say like someone's misinforming someone about communism, they're a prominent person on the left. I get critiquing them. Grimes is a celebrity. No one cares. No, people who don't know what communism is and they'll hear it, they don't care. They'll in out one ear, out the other. They're never going to think about that communist theory again, or how Grimes misinterpreted communist theory. And then y'all are a little too me, like, and it isn't just like, oh, I really disagree with it. It's like, Grimes, you're stupid, and blah blah blah. Like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe how much of a class traitor you are. And like, and this is another thing, class traitor. I see, and this is another thing, like, Grimes is a bad person. I'm like, where has Grimes ever done anything problematic or awful other than date Elon Musk? And let's be honest, you don't want to hold people to that standard, because if your partner's crimes are yours, I've dated drug dealers before. Am I now like a drug dealing accomplice? No, I've never sold drugs a day in my life. Was I supportive of them selling drugs? No, mama, I was just there for the D. Like, so am I now complicit in their crimes just because I chose to love this person? And also, this comes off misogynist to me because, and specifically towards Grimes, because when have we ever treated women like that? I've never seen anyone in the comments talking about like how their husband was an abuser or their boyfriend was really bad and treat other women badly. I've never seen people be like, that means his crimes are yours. So men aren't being held accountable for their crimes. You have to bully their significant others because they're women. So like, it doesn't make sense to me, because it's like, how many times have people dated someone they shouldn't have because they're truly in love? Like, also give her like the blatant fact that she's human, like she's valuable. Like, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't like break up with someone you love because someone online is being, this is very communist of you. And if you want to get into the bad stuff Elon Musk has done, okay, yeah, that's really bad. If you want to say maybe in some sense it isn't okay for her to date someone like that and reflects badly on you, I could agree with that. I think at some point, who you're with, if it's not like an abusive relationship, you're just choosing to be with, like Bill Cosby's wife. It's like, okay. So I do believe at some point, if you're not being abused and you're full-heartedly choosing to be there just because you really love that person and you know what they did is wrong and you know what they did was bad, but you still choose to love them, I could agree in some sense that reflects badly on your character. But this is where I don't get it, is you're transferring the crimes of Elon onto Grimes when all anything she did was date him and have his child. Is everyone else who, like, I think Elon Musk had like 2 marriages, are those wives complicit in his crimes? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and don't get me wrong, I am not putting up defense for Elon Musk. I think he's insufferable. He showed his true colors in COVID when he was like allegedly telling like his coworkers, his workers, being like, oh, well, we don't want to come in for COVID. He's like, they quit. You don't have to be here. Just quit. And it's like, okay, that's really cringe and crazy. So that's like the little bit of misogyny for me. It's like, somehow Grimes is at fault for every bad thing Elon Musk done. It's like, and then other people are like, she was a landlord. Did you know I don't know Grimes' personal life because I'm not creepy. I'm not creepy like this where I'm like, oh, who's rich or not? Oh, you're rich, you're a class traitor. You're not a leftist if you think someone's rich and they're a class traitor. Is Bernie Sanders a class traitor? No. Obviously, if you're like a cop, I would consider you somewhat of a class traitor because you protect property. I mean, a lot of cops have abused their power. Like, I would say, like, anyone who's like a oil, like, baron, or like Jeff Bezos, like he wasn't always Jeff Bezos. I would consider those people class traitors because Jeff Bezos could pay his people enough and not have them urinate in like bottles, but he chooses not to. That is a class traitor to me. Just because you're a landlord, you're not a class traitor. I'm sorry, that's not how that works. It doesn't make sense to me. Just because someone owns property and rents it, like if they're like a monster and like abused or like a slumlord, then I would say they're a class traitor. But like, okay, let's say allegedly Grimes was rich and owned apartments and rented them. Who cares? That hasn't been her life for how many years? And this is where it gets into that creepy side where people on the left to just purity test you to prove that you're not good enough to be in part of their thing. It's like, is Grimes homophobic? Is Grimes racist? Does she care about women? Does she like generally is a good person? Then yes, then I want her on the left. Like, why do I care if she was a landlord like 10 years ago? And why do I care if she's dating Elon Musk? She's not dating him anymore. And it seems like she was really, because apparently her new song was written about him. So apparently she was like really into the dude. So like, I don't think Elon Musk's crimes are Grimes crimes. I don't think, if you want to critique her and be like, hey, it doesn't look good when you date someone that treats his employees this way, has done other stuff, that's fair critique. But like, calling her a monster, like basically telling her to like kill herself and then mocking her when she like says she is tired of getting bullied online, like, you're not a leftist if you're bullying her online. Like I said, you can give her a critique. I don't even think you should, because she's a celebrity and why does it matter? But yeah, so I think the left has a problem with just being like extra cruel to perceived slights that doesn't even affect them. Like, I mean, I don't know Grimes like that, so why would I care if she's a landlord? Why would I should care if she dated Elon? Elon's getting dated someone just so happened to be one of my favorite artists. And so that's cringy and gross. And then let's see, I think I'm going to say something else. No, I think that's it. Yeah, communism is basically a fairy tale that people treat like a Pokemon trading card game, and then like their Charizard beats your Caterpie because their communist theory is more pure than yours. Oh, one last thing. So this is what made me like love Grimes. That when she broke up with Elon, she was photographed wearing like a sci-fi fictional outfit like you would find in a movie and reading like the Communist Manifesto. And that's a 2-for-1 special. It flamed the commies online. The tankies are annoying. And then also, it's a good meme. Come on. You're dating one of the richest men in the world and you wear, you read the Communist Manifesto when you break up. That's funny. Come on. You have to give her that. That's pretty funny. That's a good troll. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, this is just a test run. And plus, it's gonna make this video. And it's probably gonna be like less than, 15 minutes long, so rather than my use video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.